Where does the true limit lie? This is the question I wanted to answer with my attempt at completing the Pemi Loop, a 31-mile loop that ascends over 9,000 feet, summiting 10 peaks in the process. One of the more difficult routes in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Just took a little spill. Definitely need to get that cleaned up. We're just gonna have to keep pushing. Hopefully I can clean it up at Galehead. After rising abruptly at 3:50 in the morning, I went to war against the trail through mud, steeps, rocks, and other unforeseen challenges, all in an attempt to finish the loop in a single day. Just started again. 16 down, 16 to go. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Here's my story of my fight against the clock. Probably at 5. The mountain, water, and most difficult of all, myself. I feel very sick, so I think this is the perfect. It's 3:58 in the morning, just woke up, about to hike 30 miles. Sorting out the food. This is what we got. Everything's packed and ready to go. Here goes nothing. Don't know if you guys can see that, but I think we ran into our first little roadblock. The trail is flooded. Not good. Just crossed 3 miles, making pretty good time. A little behind schedule, but still on pace to make it to the summit of Flume in about an hour. So should summit by like 5:50. Got kind of an intermittent mix of running and hiking so far. Finally reached daylight. Pretty nice out. A little tired, but making good time. We just hit the ladders on Osseo. Pretty tired, but just gotta keep a consistent effort, and we'll get up to Flume hopefully by 6. Summited Flume, making pretty good time, about 30 minutes behind the schedule. Pretty happy with the pace so far. Made it in about 2 hours. Liberty, Lafayette, and Lincoln behind me. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the pace up, hopefully keep moving and making good time. But this is off to a good start. About 30 minutes later, now we're on the summit of Liberty, making pretty good time. Onward to Little Haystack, Lincoln, and Lafayette. Great view also. Just made it over Haystack. Making pretty good time. Probably gonna be at Lincoln about 20. Lafayette by 8 a.m. Little encased by the clouds, but not too many complaints. I'm pretty happy with how I've been able to move through this section. And yeah, onward and upward. Just made it to the top of Lincoln. A little engulfed by the clouds, but making good time still. Gonna shoot over to Lafayette hopefully by 8, and then we'll have a good chunk of the uphill done on this journey. Currently at about 8.5 miles. Legs feel good, have plenty of water and food. And yeah, nothing's really gone wrong yet for now. Just got significantly darker. Doesn't look like it's gonna be clearing up anytime soon. Just kind of pushing along the call to summit of Lafayette. Flat at the moment, but it's gonna get a lot steeper once we are about 0.5 from the summit. Let's check back in when we hit that. Apparently this is the summit of Lafayette. Kind of anticlimactic, shocked on how easy it was to get up here. Unless this is some crazy fall summit, but I'm pretty sure it is because I see this little foundation. Just about 10 miles so far on the day. I feel very good. Really don't feel fatigued like at all. I'm probably gonna sit here, have some food, get hydrated, and then start going over to Garfield. For anyone not familiar, I believe summit of Lafayette is about 5280. This is the highest elevation of the trip. From here, it's mostly downhill. Biggest concerns at the moment are the ascent on Garfield is gonna be pretty difficult, and the ascent on South Twin is gonna be more difficult. From there, it'll be more flat, and I'll be able to hopefully run that, make up a little bit more time. And also, I'll probably spend some time at Galehead Hut, get some refuel, maybe get some Snickers bars. Analyzing the time at the summit of Lafayette, looks like I'm on pace for I'm about 40 minutes behind pace right now, so that would put me at about 9 hours exactly, which would be really good. Fueling up with some granola, not sponsored yet. Yeah, probably gonna get out of here in about 5 minutes and start going over to Garfield. I wanna be there by 9:20, so we'll see if that happens. About a mile off of Lafayette, and about 2.9 miles to Garfield, and then keep going after that. Making good time. Very foggy still. Hopefully we'll get some good views later in the day. Praying it clears up. Back in the woods. Lafayette is steep right off the top, and it gets flat. And now steep again, so I'm gonna take my time getting down this. Don't want to fall, obviously. I think we're done with the descent from Lafayette. Right now we're kind of at the call. I think it's about flat for a mile. And then it's going to be a pretty difficult ascent up Garfield. And then we'll be at about 14 miles for the day. Also excited to see Garfield Pond. Stop for a little break. Pretty monotonous stuff. It's very flat and swampy, so I haven't been making great time. Still like 20-minute miles. Hopefully this uphill section is a lot drier and I can make up some lost time. Just took a little spill. Bleeding, definitely need to get that cleaned up. Pretty unfortunate, but we're just gonna have to keep pushing. Hopefully I can clean it up at Galehead with some fresh running water. Definitely not the most fun time right now, but I see the pond down there and we're gonna make some serious progress in the next hour. These are the times we just need to be focused on like the next mile or next 10 minutes. You can't really get stuck in the long game. You just gotta go piece by piece, and who knows, maybe in 3 or 4 hours this will get way better. Just past Garfield Pond. The visibility is so low, I couldn't even see it really. I guess that's unfortunate. For the first time today, I'm kind of struggling here. I don't know how much further to the summit. It could be between a mile and maybe a quarter mile. So I'm just trying to get one foot in front of the other at this point. I feel a little fatigued aerobically. My legs feel decent still, but I just have to keep moving. And oh, looks like it's starting to rain. Not sure how that's gonna affect our plans. We move onward. Well, this is excellent news. Turns out I must have been 400 meters, quarter mile from the summit, and I didn't know it. So not making bad time at all. Probably a building here at some point. I think it might have been for fire purposes, like seeing where fire is. Made it to the summit of Garfield. Not much to see other than this little foundation. Probably gonna take 10 minutes to get some food and water and then get over to Galehead. Should clean up this. Finished off the granola. Got a couple bars in me. Got some Gatorade, a lot more water also. Feeling good for the next segment. Never been particularly fond of this downhill on Garfield. The fact that it's, has rained doesn't make it much better. So I'm just gonna try to be careful getting down here. Don't wanna get any more injured. And if that costs me some time, it's just what has to happen. Talked to a couple people. They said that it was actually supposed to clear up, which is what the weather report was saying. Hopefully by South Twin, we can finally get some good views and start picking up the pace again. This is a little slow going. Some of the best water in the White Mountains right from the stream. Scents like this make me really wish I had trekking poles. I have the next best thing for completely free stick. Well, that was stressful. In all seriousness, I had to kind of put the GoPro away for a bit just to focus on making sure I got down that thing alive. I think that's probably going to be the most technical section of the trail, which is always bad because of all the rainfall that we've gotten in the past couple of days. It was exacerbated. I think that's most of the descent from Garfield. I'm just gonna try to see if I can now pick up the pace and get to Galehead. I said I wanted to get there by like 10:30. Probably gonna get pushed back a bit just because of how slow these trail conditions are. Always better to stay safe and end up without any injuries, obviously. That would be a different problem if I got a really bad cut, or bruise, or broke a bone. It's gonna be very expensive way out of here. So, yeah. Well, things are looking up. Looks like it cleared up a bit. That last stretch of trail was really good for running. I was able to run most of it and hit some, 20-ish minute miles low. So that saved a bunch of time. I was kind of under the impression I was closer to Galehead. Like I was like 0.5, but if you look in the distance there, actually, it looks like a mile and a half and it's a decent amount of ascent also. So just gotta be patient with this. I do really think that once I get to Galehead, I'll get a good rest in, get some food in me, get some more water, dry off a bit, and then South Twin from there. Well, we've reached an intersection. They say 0.6, so that's excellent news. Hopefully, gonna refuel there and then mentally prepare for the battle. That's gonna be South Twin. One's gonna be, to believe it's about 1,000 feet of elevation gain in 1 mile. So that's gonna be more of a mental one. Things are looking up. Ebbs and flows of a trip of this distance kind of really showing itself right now. 2 hours ago, I was on a summit and it was basically raining. It looks like in about an hour-ish, I'm gonna be on a summit and it's gonna be clear and we can finally see some of the range that we got. Final stretch before the hut. Pushing, charging, Pretty tired, but gonna get a really good rest at the hut. And then it's up south to win. Gotta just grit it out. Finally got sunny. You can see Flume in the distance where we started. This is gonna be brutal, but we just have to charge through. 16 down, 16 to go. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. We're hurting. I'm dying. Feel dizzy, lightheaded. I feel like I can't think straight. This is getting a little out of hand. I'm gonna take a really big break at the summit. In times like these, I just have to tell myself, this is the last big ascent. It's all downhill from the summit, because it is. I just have 12 or 13 miles ahead of me. That's daunting. Well, I'd definitely be lying if I said that I felt motivated and good right now. At the summit of South Twin, felt pretty delirious and lightheaded when I got to the summit. Got a bunch of Gatorade and water in me. Feeling a little bit better, but this is hard. It's really hard. I see Mount Bond in the distance, and that's kind of the final real mountain. And I only have to go down about 400 vertical feet, and then it's ridge walking up and down. And then Bond is probably 500 vertical from the ridge. And then from there, it's downhill to the Bond Cliff. And then from there, it's downhill to the train tracks. And then from there, it's flat. So I don't know if I push myself too early, or I spend too much time at the hut, or maybe I'm dehydrated. But this is kind of the part where I really have to push if I want to, get out of here. And no one's here to save me. No one is going to get me off this mountain except myself. So it's time to get serious. Feeling a little bit better, so I think we're gonna go get back after it and maybe try to run some of these flatter sections. Really want to get out of here, and I'm currently in the midst of the Pemi wilderness, so this is just where you gotta focus. Well, we're officially in the Pemi wilderness. I somehow got a second wind. I literally was lying on the ground at the summit of South Twin, dying, thinking about how the hell I'm gonna get off this mountain alive. And now here we are 5 miles later. I feel pretty good. So don't know if it was the electrolytes or I just needed time for the food to digest, but it feels good to feel good, and it's time to crush this final mountain. Well, it feels crazy to say this, but Mount Bond's only 0.7 away. I guess I got a second wind. I feel way better now. We're gonna keep pushing. Well, we summited Mount Bond. Now it's Bond Cliff, and then we're basically done. Feeling way better. Wow. Popping out of the trees. Here's the view. Just like that, we made it to the Bond Cliff. Feeling pretty tired. Definitely for mile 22, could definitely feel worse. Made it back below tree line, 7 or 8-ish miles till we're back at the start. It's probably going to be a little downhill for about a mile or two, and then it's going to be very flat, which kind of optimize our time here. I'm going to try to run that as best we can. My legs feel not that bad, but aerobically I'm pretty fatigued, so we'll see if we're able to do that. It would save substantial amounts of time. 3 miles later, not much has changed. Same very flat trail that goes what feels like an infinite distance. I would like to try to start running, but really not runnable where I am, really rooty and stuff. Hopefully at this next river crossing will be good. Well, good news. Looks like it's finally runnable. I'm literally just gonna push as hard as I can, get myself out of the woods, get myself back to the car. It's like that literally lasted like 800 meters before it turned to that. Wish I could go faster, but it's tricky. Well, we're finally on the railway, which means we can't be more than 4 miles, which is exciting. I'm definitely feeling really exhausted. I'm feeling the 28-ish miles on my legs. I'd rather be back to the car in 40 minutes as opposed to 2 more hours. This is what we're doing. And the trail is flooded. Another day in the office. I can just tell that this last 3 miles, or whatever the number is going to be the longest couple of miles of my entire life. Just based off of the fact that this is, I've never run or hiked or traveled 20 miles on foot. Right now we're about to hit 30. You best believe that my body is just fighting to make it to the end. Okay, this is good. Sign. Well, obviously this isn't our end point. We got about, let's say, 2.8 to go. But this kind of solidifies the fact that we're gonna make it out of the woods alive. And yeah, this is the final stretch. I'm gonna try to run this entire thing. My legs, genuinely, I've never felt such heavy legs before. And I have nothing else to say. We're so close. We're probably about 2.5 miles. I just told myself I will not allow myself to stop running until I reach that bridge. There's no chance that I'm gonna stop running. Because if I do, who knows? I'll be able to start again. Oh, she almost fell. That might have stopped me. If I fell, I probably would have lied on the ground for 30 minutes and thought about my life decisions that led me to that point. Oh my gosh. Doesn't feel real, but We just did 31 miles. I'm stoked and dead and delirious. Oh my gosh. We did it. Well, I genuinely feel very sick. So I think this is the perfect place to call it. I can't really think right now. So I'm just gonna get in the car and get some more food. And yeah, we finished it. It feels a little surreal.